What's going on, guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise, and today we are talking about the community hot topic of the week, which is, see what I did there, hot topic, because we're talking about hot drinks, because if you guys missed the video, I kind of spoke about this in passing in the limited edition console video, but I thought I'd do a dedicated video on it because this seems to have everybody talking. It is a passionate topic, apparently. And that is, of course, that hot drinks are no longer needed in Monster Hunter Rise with the reveal of the Frost Islands. Ichinose-san took to Twitter to basically say that from his research, the most forgotten item in Monster Hunter, which I can agree with, is the hot drink. Maybe the cold drink. I'd be interested to see which one people forget more. The point is, he said that from his research, that is the most forgotten item, and as a result, you will no longer need it in Monster Hunter Rise. The merchants will not sell it. It will just not be a thing. So, hot drinks are gone. Now, this is, of course, depending on how long you've been playing Monster Hunter, either a massive thing to you, or you just couldn't care less. I've been playing since Freedom 2nd, so of course for a long time, hot drinks, cold drinks, that kind of stuff has been a staple. But the question is, does it really matter? So we put a poll on YouTube. I've also linked it in the comments down below. I've pinned it, so if you guys haven't voted in that yet and you want to do so, then basically I put up a poll saying, where do you stand on this? Are you going to miss them? Are you indifferent? Or are you glad that they are gone? As of the time of recording this video, there have been 17,000 votes, and it currently sits at 24% of people saying they're going to miss it, 44% of people saying they don't mind either way, and 32% of people saying they hated cold drinks. Now, I've seen quite a lot of comments from people, so I thought I'd, talk about a few of them in this video to try and sort of, encapsulate the community sentiment. One of the first ones from Wolfgang, he said, I'm going to miss saying, oh crap, I forgot my hot or cold drinks. Which, let's be honest, I feel like that, of all of the things surrounding the removal of hot drinks, is probably going to be the thing I'll miss the most, because it kind of just used to be the comical thing. Back when I used to stream for Ultimate, it used to just be the regular thing where you'd be like, oh no, I forgot my drinks. And of course back then you couldn't actually do anything about it. I feel like that became far less important, in World, because of course they gave us the opportunity to access our camp. So even if you did forget them, you would just go to the camp and grab them. So, that much, it's not really a loss. However, something that is, of course, fair to note, comment from Insignia said that hot drinks and cold drinks were always a hassle, but they are some of the small things that gave old Monster Hunter its charm. I bet I won't miss them, but we'll see once the game finally releases. And I can get that, definitely. I mean, I think back to the first time I ever played Monster Hunter Freedom 2nd, I picked it up, and suddenly when you go on a hunt, not just thinking, I'm going to go out and hunt this monster, thinking, alright, I need to pack hot drinks or cold drinks, whetstones and pickaxes. I get it. It was definitely a really cool thing to begin with. What I will say is after years and years of playing Monster Hunter, like 10, 12 years now, something like that, those kind of things have become so sort of like automated for me. It's just like, I'll make an item loadout, hot drinks and cold drinks are in there. You don't even think about it. So I do feel like that thing that when I started playing, that was very sort of unique and kind of gave it its edge, suddenly became so sort of just like baked in for me that I didn't even think about it. So while it's true, it definitely added some charm, and it is something that not a lot of other games do, I do feel like over the years it has become kind of less important because of course Monster Hunter, the gameplay shines, the hunting shines, the weapons shine, the new mechanics shine. I feel like that much is kind of more nostalgia than anything. Now, outside of that, one of the sort of main topics that I've sort of seen from people that don't like this change, Vern kind of summarised this one in his comment. He basically said that, they keep dumbing down the gameplay more and more. Sure, it isn't a big deal, but there have been countless small changes like this that kind of eliminated the sort of good old Monster Hunter feeling. The need to prepare for your hunts, that kind of thing, is much more lessened because, of course, now you can just go to the camp, heal as much as you want, that kind of thing. And I get that, definitely. I guess it kind of depends on, why you played Monster Hunter in the first place. Yes, obviously back in the day, you couldn't go to the base camp. You had, your 10 potions, your 10 mega potions, more if you bought crafting materials, but once you're out, you're out. And of course, that definitely added a challenge factor. I guess where I stand on this is it's one of those things where if it's a sacrifice that needs to be made to make more people enjoy the game, then I'm all for it. I mean, there is nothing to stop us. I appreciate it's in there, but there is nothing to stop us from being like, I'm not going to use the camp at all. I'm only going to use my 10 mega potions when they're out. I'm just going to ignore the camp. We can still, for the most part, play Monster Hunter in the traditional fashion if we want to. But of course, by adding those systems in, it just means that more people can get into the series, which, I'll be honest, Monster Hunter used to be a notoriously difficult game to get into. I remember back in the day trying to get people into it, and I used to say to them, yo, you need to play the game for like 10 hours for it to click. 10 hours is a big investment. So I feel like if this is a change that means more people can enjoy Monster Hunter, which obviously they did in Monster Hunter World. World is the biggest selling, Capcom IP, biggest selling Monster Hunter game. So it's fair to say, it did the job. I definitely get it. I get that some of the sort of preparation, some of the sort of Hunter feel has kind of been lessened, but at least some of that stuff you can still experience if you just don't use the new features. There was an interesting comment from Colin Hay, who kind of spoke about like another sort of potential alternate use for the hot drinks. He said that while I do like to prepare for each quest in Monster Hunter, I do feel like hot and cold drinks weren't a great game design decision. Since the environment hurts you unless you waste a slot for your drink, it becomes a tedious one and done task and a simple decision. Bring your hot drink, bring your cold drink, yes or no. And he said the problem is this then becomes kind of too basic a decision in the context of Monster Hunter in the kind of gameplay loop. Instead of a debuff in these regions, it might perhaps be better if, say, in a snowy map, there's regular terrain and deep snow, and using a hot drink lets you maybe move faster on normal terrain, maybe like a skate animation, and at regular speeds in the deep snow, and also increases resistance to frost damage, but reduces that to, say, fire damage or something like that. The idea behind that is that then it suddenly gives you more of an option like, do I want to bring a hot drink? It's more of a sort of nuanced choice, and it kind of then could enhance the preparation sort of idea. And I can definitely see that. That's kind of cool. I guess it's a similar sort of thing in World where it's like, do I want to bring this mantle? Like, I'm going to be fighting Giratodos in the mud. I can bring the waterproof mantle so it makes it easier, or I can just deal with it. So I can definitely see, there could be some interesting permutations there. Now, I'm not going to go through all the comments. Some of the sort of other running sentiments tend to be sort of, along the similar lines of they keep stripping back these mechanics. The more they do this, the more it becomes less like Monster Hunter, the more it becomes more like a regular action game. And again, I think where I stand on this is that I guess it depends on why you play Monster Hunter. Like, I have always enjoyed everything that Monster Hunter has brought to the table, but I will say that for me personally, ultimately what keeps me playing is still the core gameplay loop. Like, everything else, the preparation, all that kind of stuff, while it was cool, while it was unique, while it does definitely add character to the game, for me, still it's just the core gameplay loop. I want to go out, I want to hunt big monsters, I want to make some armor, I want to make some weapons, and I want to continue with that loop. Everything else for me just becomes automated. Everything else is just like, I've got to prepare. It becomes a thing that you do without thinking too much. And I feel like, outside of that, outside of some nostalgia, for me personally, it doesn't seem to add a great deal. Some people do seem to think it is going down a very dangerous trend. Some people have said that, going as far as like the hunting horn has now been turned into a button masher's weapon.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
I wouldn't quite go that far. I feel like hunting horn now is so damn cool. And let's be honest, hunting horn was never a complicated weapon. It's not like you needed a aeronautical degree to understand how to use it. It's not the charge blade, right? Hunting horn was always a pretty simple weapon. I think a lot of people just didn't use it because they just forgot their songs half the time and kind of just thought of the interesting flow of like having to play your songs and then slow down. So I feel like the change to hunting horn hasn't made the game easier. It's just kind of made a weapon that a lot of people never used suddenly a hell of a lot more appealing. That's just my stance on it. I appreciate everyone's got a different opinion. What I will say is that generally speaking, I'm kind of cool with it. So long as Monster Hunter keeps on doing cool stuff, as long as if they do make a change like that, they're adding something else in, think about it in Rise. Like, okay, we might have lost hot drinks, but we've got the wire bug and the silkbind moves and crazy vertical maps and palamutes and all these other things we can do. Like, if they're going to take one thing out and give us like 10 other things, I'm cool with that. But to round up the video, let me throw it to TwoSix, give TwoSix a little sort of a dial-in, shall we say, and see what he has to say on this topic.
Meh.
So there you have it. That's a wrap up. That's kind of a little sort of rundown on the community sentiment around the hot drink changes. Again, if you guys want to vote in the poll yourself, click the link in the description box down below. Comment as well. Let me know what you guys think about this, and keep it locked for plenty more. If you want to catch more from us at Arekkz Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys TwoSixNine, Paradise Central and Investmore streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below, and of course you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.